Good morning, everybody. I'm on the road, not driving, to Alex Correa's bachelor party paintball fun with Kyle Gillis. Where's Tony? There's Tony. And Officer Tony Bustamante. Yes. So, I lost you. I hope no one gets car sick. Okay, so I'm going to keep it a little shorter today, but it's a great little short message. And we're going to take a look at John chapter 13, 36 to 38. So, this is after Jesus washes the disciples' feet, and he tells them about loving one another and how they couldn't go where he's going to go. So when he's gone, they're going to need to love each other because he's not going to be there in their midst, loving them in bodily form. So verse 36, Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus answered him, "Where I am going, you cannot follow me now, but you shall follow me afterward." So Peter didn't know at the time, but Peter was going to be crucified. In the last chapter of John 21, you will also see Jesus make the reference that one day you will be lifted up against your will. And Peter would be crucified in Rome many years later. And when he was being sent to his crucifixion, after already witnessing the crucifixion of his own wife, we see Peter request to be crucified upside down. He didn't feel worthy or deserving to die in the same way as his Lord. And so, famously, as tradition shows us, Peter was crucified upside down. And so when Jesus says, he said, "Well, where are you going?" Well, Jesus knew he was going to the cross. And he told Peter, "Someday you will follow me, but right now isn't your time." And so Peter said to him, "Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for your sake." Other Gospels record where Peter says, they may all fail, they may all go, but I will never leave you. I won't ever forsake you. And so in John 13:38, Jesus answered him, "Will you lay down your life for my sake? Most surely I say to you, the rooster shall not crow till you have denied me 3 times. Now, I got to teach on this in Israel on location where Peter did his third denial. You could see the area, or maybe he sat around the fire and warmed his hands. It's just a surreal experience because that was the house where Jesus was taken, where they were beating him and where they were beginning his trial process. And Peter denies him once. Then he denies him a second time. I don't know who you're talking about. They began to ask Peter questions. Peter had been following from afar off. He was now sitting at the enemy's fire, hanging out with the Roman soldiers and with everyone else, trying to blend in. And it's amazing how sometimes we can get to that place where we start following Jesus a little further back than we used to, and eventually we find ourselves blending in with the world, not looking different, not being different. But when Peter's asked the third time, the Bible tells us he curses. And in the Greek, that word is specific for true, real cursing. Like dropping F-bombs. I don't know who Jesus is. And if you put all the Gospels together to get the complete story, it tells us that as he cursed and denied him that third time, a rooster crows again. It's actually 2 rooster crows. And as that second crow happens, Peter looks over to where Jesus is, and how he was able to see in the house, we don't know exactly, but he was able to make eye contact. And at that very moment, when the rooster crowed, Jesus looks up and makes eye contact with Peter. And it says that he left, and he wept bitterly. I can say it with full assurance, though the scripture does not say it explicitly, that Jesus wasn't looking at Peter scornfully. He probably looked with compassion. He probably had forgiveness in his eyes. And very often that's what hits us the hardest, when we can be so wretched. We can do the worst of things and be the worst of people. And yet Jesus somehow meets with us and shows us compassion. shows us forgiveness and love. And that's what often will break the hardest of men. Not the hard times, but when they realize that even in their rebellion, God still wants to forgive them and work with them and love them. And so, beautiful story, beautiful account. To Monday we go through John 14, 15, 16, and then the high priestly prayer in 17. We start that journey, and it's going to probably be a few weeks in those verses because they are amazing, amazing stuff. So, hope to see you guys then. God bless. Take care.